Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. Let's talk about how to be an effective leader. And David is our subject, as usual. Having a position does not make you an effective leader. You can be a father, you can be a mother. That doesn't mean you are an effective parent. You can be the pastor of a church, have that title, Pastor so-and-so, but that doesn't make you an effective leader. You can be the head of a ministry, a worship team, a small group, whatever the situation, but it doesn't make you a leader. Position does not equal leadership. You can be the supervisor on your job and yet not be a leader. David became a leader after he had the position as king. When he went through hard times and through failures, he became an effective leader. And the great thing is that you and I can become effective leaders. There was a point in David's life when he was not an effective leader, even though he had the crown on his head and he sat on the throne. He had the position. And you remember that fate-filled day when it was time for kings to go off to war, and he stayed at home and started walking around on his roof. Instead, he sent the men out to the battle. And that began a downward spiral because he was not a leader. He was actually a corrupt politician. But he learned through his failure. And good leaders learn through their failures. And I hope I can learn from my failures, and you can also. So now he's in a different situation. He's no longer on the throne. He's been taken off the throne, dethroned, so to speak, and his son Absalom and his followers are seeking and hunting David and his men down. They've ran out of Jerusalem, they're on their way out, and now they're ready to engage in battle against Absalom. So David divides his army into 3 divisions, and then he demonstrates effective leadership. We pick up the story in 2 Samuel chapter 18, verse 2. It says this: David sent out his troops, a third under the command of Joab, a third under Joab's brother Abishai of Zuriah, son of Zuriah, and a third under Attai the Gittite. The king told the troops, I myself will surely march out with you. What a change. So time for the kings to go to war, and he is going to lead the battle. He's going to go out to fight. No more staying at home, but he's willing to take the risk and die with the men. And David meant it with all his heart. A father can't ask a son to mop the floor if they don't see the father mopping the floor. A pastor can't ask a church to invite people to church if the pastor never invites people to church. A boss who doesn't do whatever it takes, including taking out the garbage, will not be an effective leader. I saw a picture recently of a new CEO of Starbucks serving coffee at the window of a drive-through. A leader is effective when they do what they expect the followers to do. I love the president of Ukraine. He's an effective leader. Why? Because Zelensky goes to the front line. He's with the men. He's willing to put his life on the line. And what happens? The whole country is willing to put their lives on the line. David's men knew he was willing to go out with them, but they told him to stay behind because he was too valuable to be lost. But they knew that David was willing. And because David was willing, the men were willing to go out and fight courageously. So today, as we've looked at effective leadership briefly, examine the areas of leadership in your life. We all have areas where we are a leader. Are you an effective leader? Do you do what you expect your followers, your group, your people to do? And do they know that? God bless you. I'll see you again tomorrow.